All right, welcome everybody. This is the second of two summer trading sessions that we have for Gopher State. Um, we got about 10 plays we're going to walk through. We have a series of questions that we'll ask as well as we go through these videos. Matt will pull those up for us. If there's questions or comments, please raise your hand. Otherwise, we'll try to mute everybody and turn your video off. I
Yeah,
think everybody's video is off, but we'll try to mute just so I know there's some issues with the video coming through Zoom. So we'll try to mute the microphones just because I think that helps a little bit with being able to see the video. But ask questions, reach out in the chat if you have a question or raise your hand. Matt will be monitoring that as we go through here. Just a reminder also that this is meant to help everybody as training. It's not meant to belittle or any one official or anything like that. This is just meant as training for all of us to get better as officials as we get ready to go for the current season, the upcoming season here. With that, so I got the first play here. So a lot of this will be mechanic things, and there's some penalties in here too, but a lot of this is focused on mechanics more so than the first meeting was. So first play here, I'm going to draw your attention. Well, watch the play, I guess, and then we're going to watch the official at the top of the screen of this play here as well.
is there a question that goes out with this one, Matt, or no?
No, the first question's on the next play.
Okay, perfect.
I'll let that play again here. And again, my comment, especially on this one, I'm not trying to point out any one official or anything like that. This is just trying to help everybody, especially since we have a lot of newer officials on here. Um, so what we have here is we have a pass to the flat to the top of the screen here. I think it's pretty obvious it's a forward pass, and the ball goes through the receiver's hands and hits the ground. So I think hopefully everybody agrees that this is an incomplete pass. So officials is for us here. This official, you don't really know what the official is calling here. The official's coming in kind of slow, doesn't really wave hands or anything like that. So it's really hard to understand what the official is ruling here. This is just an incomplete pass, but in all cases, when we have an incomplete pass, when we have anything, we want to be very demonstrative with what we're calling here. There's no need to sell this because I think even grandma at the top of the stands knows this is incomplete pass. So in this case, you don't have to square up in this case to mark the ball because the ball's incomplete. We're going to go right back to the previous spots. But make sure you're waving your hands nice, big and wide, not what this official does. Just big wide, just show everybody, yep, I have a complete pass, and we can move on here. So again, point is, be big, be open, tell everybody what you have. So you don't have to sell the call in this case because it's pretty cut and dry that this is an incomplete pass, but just be big with the signals and everything. Don't walk in this case. You probably don't even have to you maybe step into the sideline a little bit and just give a big wave off that this is an incomplete pass. Any questions on that one at all?
Matt, do you have an official actually keep the time, or is it done by somebody at the school?
So generally so all officials are required to know what's going on with the game clock. That's rule number
Yeah,
one. Generally, we don't have somebody necessarily keeping track on the field. They will assign somebody in this for the school that will be in the press box.
All right, so
And so
the
we'll meet
mechanic would
with
be
you.
complete and then kill the clock, right?
Say that again.
The mechanic then would be incomplete until the clock becomes the
No,
timeout.
so there's two ways to kill the clock. One is to do this, to wipe it off on the top. The other way is to just wipe it off like this for an incomplete pass. And so
All
what
right.
I do when I meet with the timers before the game, everybody should be doing that, is I will tell the timer that. I don't care if it's their first time, if they've done it 30 times or for 30 years or whatever. The timers have 4 games. Some of them get a few more because of sections. So I just remind them every time that the two ways to stop the clock are to signal incomplete pass or to do the wipe above the head. And which in this case, again, like it doesn't, you can't tell, is this incomplete for sure? So we just want a big wipe off on the hands here on this. Does that answer your question?
Yes, and thank you.
Yep, sure. Any other questions on this? All right. I'll go to the next play here. So Matt, I'll tell you when to start. This is actually 2 questions in this one.
okay.
So I'll wait. So what play they make the play go first? So I'll start that over here. I'll play it one more time for everybody here. All right. So first things first on this. So this is something everybody should be doing before every snap is understanding what the down and distance is. In this case, it's fourth down and 5 yards to go. It's the second quarter. There's 2 minutes and 41 seconds left. So clock is not really an issue at this point here. But the down and distance is, we know at the end of this play, no matter what happens on this play, we are stopping the clock. So in this case, we're going to stop the clock because they got a first down, or there's a turnover of possession here because they didn't get the first down. You probably already saw that they do gain enough for the first down here. So that's the first thing. Always understand before the snap what the down and distance is and what the situation is of the game, and understand what the clock status is again also. Second thing here, I'm going to play it forward a little bit and I will stop the clock. Oh, sorry. The last thing to mention is that the snap is at the 39-yard line. So I'm going to stop right there. So we have a lineman potentially downfield here. That's the first thing to notice. So we have a forward pass here, and we have a potential ineligible receiver downfield. Second thing here, I'm going to draw your attention to number 10 right here. And so everybody hopefully saw what number 10 does there. All right, so Matt, you want to pull up the first poll question?
Okay,
All right, so first poll question, is the ineligible player illegally downfield, yes or no?
you want to run it again and keep it running, Matt?
Yep.
Two.
I'm going to shorten the time frame just to that one though, hopefully. And Matt, I think you can show live results as they're coming in.
Uh, I think I got everybody in.
Okay.
Oh, I don't think I can, honestly.
Okay, that's fine. Then we can just see the results then too. Yeah, maybe that's better. Actually, we're not influencing people to answer a certain way, I guess.
Exactly.
Yeah, let me play in slow motion for Tim's comment. See if that helps
Yeah.
everybody. Yeah, hopefully everybody saw that. So hopefully that helps everybody see it anyway. Okay, what's the results of the question, Matt?
Result is yes. It
Okay.
is ineligible downfield.
All right, so I'm gonna go forward a little bit. So, like I said, the snap is at the 39-yard line, and I'm gonna go forward right to where the ball is released, right there. So by rule, the ineligible receiver downfield has the neutral zone extended, and that's until the ball is released. So they cannot go past the neutral zone extended. And I should have wrote this down. It's in Rule 6, I believe. And so by definition, in Rule 2, the extended neutral zone is 2 yards into the defensive backfield. And again, this is when the ball is released. And so the lineman in this case is a yard and a half downfield. So this is not an ineligible downfield when the ball is released. Again, once the ball is released, they can go anywhere in the field there.
Matt,
So this is correctly officiated that this is not an eligible receiver downfield.
I would also add, you don't want to be if you did throw it here, you don't want to be that picky. If it's right at 2 yards or even just a step over 2 yards, you don't want to be that. If it's got to be obvious, like 2.5, 3 yards is when you want to throw that.
Yep,
Um, in this case, I mean, you just don't want to be that picky.
agree. Yep, exactly. In most cases, I think
Yeah,
Nickleby said it in the past on his calls that this is the one that we
yeah.
get wrong most. Um, and I saw the question come up. So I will highlight the line of scrimmage officials in this case. The line of scrimmage officials both do a great job of staying home at the line of scrimmage in this case. We're snapping at the 39-yard line, and the throw happens pretty much immediately. So there is no reason for them to float downfield here. To answer the
Can
question
you,
in the chat, what of the line of scrimmage officials would should be, and actually probably both, should be aware if they have a lineman downfield or not. In this case, since the lineman is on the left side of the line, it would be the official on the bottom of the screen that
Yes.
would make the call.
Thank you.
Yep. All right. Question number two, Matt. Let me forward it to that section here. I'll play this in slow mo. Player number 10 here. Let me back up a little bit. So this will go on loop in slow motion as well. So again, hopefully this helps everybody see what number 10 does.
Let me know when you want to launch.
Yep, go ahead, launch the call, launch the question.
Is the block by number 10 an illegal blindside block?
So there's 44 participants, Matt. So maybe we get to like 30 or so. We could,
Yeah,
or 35.
yeah, we're at 30, 33 right now.
Okay. So I just show the results then.
Yeah,
Thanks, by the way.
there we go.
All right, 70% say yes. I agree. This is a blindside block. The number 10 is attacking the defender here. He does not have open hands. Um, and it's the defender. The defender is looking at the runner, and his attention is elsewhere. So yes, I agree. This is a blindside block.
So the question is, who should pick this up?
Yep. And so this is admittedly a harder get for the bottom line of scrimmage official, but he's going to be the one that's they're going to be the one that sees this the best in this case. They're probably transitioning to start to get the blocks in front of the runner here. However, the runner is not threatened here too, and so when you see number 10 and actually number 50, there's a lineman also that are kind of going back into the field. This is that's where you'll see where these blindside blocks happen is you got two offensive players kind of running back into the field towards where the runner is coming from. And so the bottom line of scrimmage official is going to pay attention to that first before you transition to blocks out in front of the runner. So the bottom line of scrimmage official would expect to get this call. Any questions on that at all?
I'm sorry, don't keep on.
Oh, I have a quick question. It looked like maybe I'm just seeing things. It looked like he did turn and wasn't. I mean, right before he got hit, it looked like he turned where he was looking at the guy. But maybe I'm overanalyzing.
I don't disagree that he does turn. However, based on his actions, he doesn't kind of break down and kind of brace for the impact at all. He's
Okay,
clearly running towards the defender in this case.
so it's
Yeah,
not just
and if
he was prepped for. Okay, thank
Right.
you.
yeah, if he would have put his if number 10 would have put his hands up,
Yep.
you could have that would have been a good block.
Yep.
Okay.
But
Okay.
since he lowered his shoulder,
Yep.
then yeah, then it's a blindside block.
Yep.
Okay,
Yeah,
it's the football player like Roberto. He looked like he had to look like he was about to engage, and he did. He just was looking that way, maybe.
Yeah.
yep,
Oh, thank you.
yep. Yeah, and I would argue too, if number 10 puts his hands up, he probably um he has the same result on the block probably as well because the
Ex-
defender doesn't look like he sees it coming at all. So
Exactly.
yep.
Okay, thank you.
Yep.
Yep.
Any other questions on this play?
This is both people. I'm gonna
All
love
right.
that.
We'll go to play number
So
three.
I guess there's a question here. As a new official, which position would I most likely be in? And I'm also not familiar with the official's position. Can we quick overview of the official position so I can know what I'm looking at quick?
Sure. Let me go to beginning of this play and we'll walk through that quick. Let me get to where they're lined up here.
You want to find out?
All right, so this is a varsity. So there's going to be a difference, slight difference, but I'll cover the varsity and then I'll cover lower level as well here. So first off, varsity. So on the varsity, you have two line of scrimmage guys, officials, one here and one here. They line up right on the neutral zone. Um, you'll have a back judge back here. You can kind of see the shadow. Back judges, hold me honest. I think you're 20 yards, 20 to 25 yards away from the spots of the line of scrimmage. Um, and then you'll have a referee back here. You can't see them, and you'll have the umpire right here. Um, Referees and umpires were about 13 yards or so behind the line of scrimmage, and we're lining up on the outside shoulder of the two tackles. So referee is going to be on outside of this tackle here. Umpire is going to be outside of this tackle here. As a lower level official, generally you'll have the two line of scrimmage. So this one, and you'll have a referee. So usually three officials. Sometimes you'll have two, but I think most of the time you have three. And George, hold me honest there on that one.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. As a brand new official, likely you're going to start on line of scrimmage. So your jobs there is going to be watch pre-snaps. So you're watching for false starts, you're watching for offsides. I'm sorry, encroachment in high
Yeah.
school. And you're also going to be spotting the ball with forward progress. Obviously, once the play starts, there's other things to worry about, but those kind of your pre-snap, looking for false start or encroachments, and then you're getting forward progress. So again, the officials, I think both line of scrimmage officials do a good job in this case. As the play develops, um, once the play goes further downfield, as a line of scrimmage official, you're going to get the spot. And so what that means is you're going to get the forward progress of the runner here. And you see the official start to flow downfield, and then he's coming up and marking the spot right where the play ends, right there.
Yeah.
So that's very, very high level. A lot of that stuff, your question will be answered next Wednesday or the following week at Maple Grove. But hopefully that answers your question for right now. Anyway,
All right.
all right. Well, to the next play here. So this is a mechanics here. We'll watch. I'm going to let this play a little bit, a couple times here first. I'll do a slow-mo again because of the choppiness here. Actually, I'll play it full speed first. Or so I can shorten the video here. All right, so I'll play slow-mo now again. Let me get this back here a little bit further. All right, so we have a normal formation here. We're lined up, ready to go. It's 3rd and 1. And we're at the 30, sorry, the 32 yard line.
33.
32, 33,
30,
somewhere in that area. Watch the receiver at the bottom of the screen here. So he doesn't know the play, he starts moving a little bit, and he jumps, and then the ball is snapped.
Not sure about.
And then the play happens after that. So the thing I want to highlight in this case is the official or the receiver at the bottom of the screen. So any player on the line of scrimmage, such as this receiver right here, you're not allowed to be in motion at the snap. Excuse me. You can shift to a new position. So if the offense wanted to, they could move a receiver up, and then this one could slide back, and then they could go in motion after they're set for a second. However, in this case, that's not what they do. The receiver just it doesn't know the play, and so he's trying to find out the play, and by doing that, he's moving in towards the ball at the snap. So in this case, we should kill this play. We should stop this play before it starts and make this a false start. Because the receiver at the bottom of the screen is not even allowed to shift the way he's done it in this case. Um, so we should stop this play before it starts and make this a false start. So I just want
Matt,
to,
do you also have an illegal formation, 5 in the backfield? I mean, the
I
tackle is
know
more than
there is actually 5 in the backfield too. You're
Yeah.
right, right there.
But as Spanier or or Jason says, nothing good can come from this play,
Yeah,
him doing that.
yeah.
So
So go ahead, Matt. Sorry.
no, yeah, no, you're right. Go ahead.
Okay.
No,
So
yeah.
yeah, John, you're right. There are 5 in the backfield. However, if you make this a false start, then you don't have the 5 in the backfield. A false start is a pre-snap foul, and so you're going to throw your flag and stop this play from starting. Like Matt said, nothing good can come from this when he's moving to that. But yes, that's a good catch by you as well. That's if as a line of scrimmage official, you're the one that's going to make determinations if players are on or off the line of scrimmage, and so then you're the one also
The kid
that is
coming back,
expected to
right?
throw a flag for 5 in the backfield.
Now you could also, depending on the time of the game in this,
Hmm.
if it's first quarter, first couple series, if he's close, that's where you go talk to the referee and umpire, tell him, hey, tell the left tackle to move up a little bit. But if it's so obvious, then you got to call it. But you try to prevent that type of stuff, like the tackle being on or off or creating the V as we call it. So, you try to preventative officiate that stuff. But if it's this obvious, then you got to call it. But this would have been killed anyways for false start. Should have been.
Should have been. Yep.
Yes.
Yeah, and just to highlight mechanics too on a 5 in the backfield here. So I know when I was a line of scrimmage official, we would do something where we tap our belt to say, hey, we got 5 in the backfield. What that does is hopefully alert the other official. So when you're on the line of scrimmage, you're going to work kind of in tandem with the other line of scrimmage official. In this case, pre-snap, if one of you counts 5 in the backfield, again, the mechanic I was always used was tapping your belt. What that does is signify that, hey, there's 5 in the backfield in this play. So we should throw our flag once the snap happens. So the illegal formation becomes a foul right at the snap. And so what we want to see is both line of scrimmage officials, throw their flag right at the snap in this case. And this also, they don't catch that there is 5 in the backfield in this case either. Because like Matt said, this is pretty obvious that this left tackle here is not on the line of
Yeah.
scrimmage.
You don't,
Try to prevent when you can.
Yeah.
you don't kill for 5 in the backfield. The play continues, but it's
You throw the flag, but you don't kill the play for 5 in the backfield. That is a live ball foul, so you're gonna throw your flag, but let the play continue.
let the play run. Okay, thank you.
Was that a block in the back on number 6?
I would probably say that's on the side. He touched him
Yeah.
on the side. So,
Hmm.
I guess for when I'm a wing official, I always talk to myself, or I even say it out loud because I've had coaches say, "What'd you say?" I'll say good block, or side block, or he got him on the side. That's verbally just walking me through the process of, was that a good block, or what did I see, type of thing. So on this one, I'd say, for one, I think he kind of whiffed on him, but there wasn't enough there. But first contact was on the shoulder on the side.
Yeah.
So everybody can do things differently. I'm more of a verbal. I like to just, talk out loud and say what I see. So however you guys do it, but, think about process what you saw for a block.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's definitely not a block in the back.
Yeah, I agree. That's not a block in the back. I think he whiffed as well on
Yeah.
in the block in this case. It does not 21 does not slow down or
Yeah.
move at all So
He
I don't
took
think
himself out of the play, basically.
exactly.
So,
Anything else on this play? Good questions. Keep them coming, by the way.
yeah.
This is great. I love that this is very communicative chatting. So, all right, next play. So I'm gonna let this play. This is gonna be question number 3, Matt.
Question 3. Okay.
Yep. So let me rewind it here. I'm gonna rewind it. I'll play it slow from the snap here first, and then I'll slow it or I'll limit the play here. So what I'm looking at. So situation, it's 2nd and 7. We have a quarterback rollout play that turns into a run by the quarterback. And so this is the section I want everybody to kind of watch here before we get to the poll question. And then I'll actually show the sideline view or the end zone view as well here. Do one more time here, then you can pull up the poll question, Matt.
Okay.
All right, you want to pull up the poll question?
Yep.
So question, is this a late hit? Yes or no? And I'll keep playing in slow motion here.
He was already going out of bounds.
So answer the question before we talk about it, please. Let me know when you're ready to show the results, Matt.
All right. This is kind of split. So
Okay.
here we go. I
Yeah,
know
pretty
that there's some
close.
others.
55 yes, 45 no. All right, so I believe this is a late hit. Somebody brought it up. I didn't catch who it was, but the runner in this case is, when you watch it on this view, looks like the runner is giving themselves up by going out of bounds. They do have a foot down when the contact happens as well. And so I think this is a late hit.
The
Now,
first one, the first contact is good. The second one's the
correct.
second one is he was already out 1 foot out.
Yep.
So
Yeah, you have two. Yeah, to Matt's point, you have two defenders coming at him. There's the first hit right there. He's still in bounds. He's giving himself up, I think, but I think this happens kind of late for the first one. The second one, I think, can avoid this hit. And so I
yeah,
think this is a late hit on the second defender here. So I think this is a foul. And Matt or anybody else, I don't know if you have an opinion on it or not.
Matt, can I chime in on this?
Go ahead, Toby.
sure.
Um, one thing with this too, this doesn't show this, but uh the reason it's important to try to get these fouls is after as the play continues, there's kind of a melee after this play, and St. Michael actually gets flagged for retaliating. So if we have the first flag, which I think is clear to me, we can kind of avoid some other things from happening. So it's important to get these safety fouls, especially on the quarterback.
Well, and I would argue too, it doesn't matter if it's a quarterback or a running back or a wide
Anybody, yeah,
receiver. It's anybody in this case.
Yes,
yeah.
I would agree.
So mechanically speaking, I'm going to go back to the sideline view here. So there's a couple of mechanic things I want to highlight. First thing, line of scrimmage official does a great job in this of, I guess I'll start with the referee, sorry. Referee does a good job on this play of letting the quarterback run in front of him and work inside out. So what I mean by that is as the passer runner runs in front of the referee. Referee just turns and officiates and kind of starts jogging slowly after the play here. So they're officiating from the middle of the field out to the sideline here. So I think good job by the referee in that case. Line of scrimmage official, I think, also does a good job in this case. And this one, I'll go back to the sideline here. So sideline official does a good job also of not chasing the play. What I mean by that is they're not running down to try to get the spot as it's happening here. They can see that the play is coming to the sideline. We're already inside the numbers here. And so they're doing the line of scrimmage official, which is right here right now, is doing a good job of staying behind the play and kind of letting the play happen in front of them. What this does is keep you out of trouble mainly. I don't think anybody wants to go try to break a leg every Friday nights when they do this. And so let the play happen, stay back from the play, and you're going to see everything happen better by doing this. So I think good job by the line of scrimmage official in this case as well. And then they do a good job, the line of scrimmage official does, of coming up and getting the spot right here. So one thing for the line of scrimmage official, now they see that there's a potential for a fight. And so line of scrimmage official, unfortunately now once you start moving, you've lost your spot. And so this is where newer officials, you'll hear crossfield mechanics a lot. You're hoping that in this case, the line of scrimmage official on the opposite sideline kind of has an idea. It's kind of marking where the spot, the end of the play is at. I would tell you also, as a line of scrimmage official, if something like this happens, grab your beanbag, drop your beanbag at the spot right here. That way you don't lose the spot. So you're kind of covered both by the beanbag and hopefully by your line of scrimmage official on the other sideline here. So again, once you see this happening, you start moving towards this, drop a beanbag at your spot before you start to go try to break up anything that's happening here.
Yeah, you should have crossfield, but then also at the same time, your quarterback's got to get in there too. Or not your quarterback, your referee should be in there too. Sorry,
Yep.
your quarterback's already there, but the referee's got to get over there, and your back judge should be moving up there too. And the opposite side should be stepping on. The umpire should be watching the backside stuff. So this is when you see something go in there and you see 10 people go in there, you got to get there, no matter what. Referee, back judge, you got to get up there, help out that
Yeah,
line of scrimmage guy.
yeah, you beat me to that, Matt. So the referee does come jogging in, I think, a little bit. I don't see the back judge anywhere in the screen.
Yeah.
That's a problem.
And so back judge, you need to get over there as well. You need to be sprinting to get over to this. As soon as you see a big hit like this happen, you should be sprinting, at least jogging over there. And then when you see linemen going into the sideline like you do here now as well, and you got opposing players in the bench, so you got some Maple Grove players in the St. Michael bench, you need to be sprinting in there to make sure nothing happens. To Toby's, I didn't see this on the play here, but to Toby's points, St. Michael's going to be understandably mad that they had a player get wiped out, and now they're 10 yards into the bench on a potential late hit, and they're going after the Maple Grove players at the end.
And then you've got a coach coming in there too.
Yep.
So yeah, this is you just got to get there. I mean, I know the referee, I know, and this is my case too, is that we got the umpire going the opposite side. We still got to follow him, and if he goes in the bench like it's always been, you go with him.
Yep.
You got to get there, especially if you're going to have something like this.
Yeah, your presence there will hopefully stop a lot of anything from happening. And it's pretty unfortunate in this case that we flagged
Yeah.
St. Michael for retaliation when we could have potentially headed that off by getting into the sideline in the first
Yeah.
place and making our presence in there. Any other questions or comments on this play here? All right, play number 4, I think it is 5, I guess. All right, so goal line coverage. So this play right here, it's first and goal at the 10-yard line. And again, I'm not a line of scrimmage official, so if I say this wrong, please line of scrimmage officials jump in and tell me I'm wrong. So line of scrimmage officials, when you at the 10 and in, your first step once the snap happens is to go to about the 7-yard line and read the play. And which is what happens in this case too. The line of scrimmage official right away goes to about the 7-yard line. And once they see the play coming to their way, they actually work to get in front of the play and get to the pylon. So once we're stepping from the 10 and in, and you start to break the play, the goal line becomes a very important line here. And I think the line of scrimmage official does a great job in this case of first off working to about the 7 yard line. And then once they see the play coming, they get in front of the play and get to the goal line here. And then they do a good they stop the play or stop the clock here. And then they do a pretty good job too, or a good job also here in this case of coming up and getting the spots of the forward progress in this case, which is about the 5 yard line. It looks like the runner is knocked out of bounds. So again, line of scrimmage officials, 10 and in. You want to your first move should be to about the 7 or so. And then I think at the 7 yard line, that's when immediately you're going to go to the goal line on the
Yeah.
snap and then work back as you need to spot the ball. So wanted to highlight this, that the line of scrimmage official in this case does a very good job of working to the 7 and then staying in front of the play and coming back to get the spot here.
And then as far as going down, working down the side, as you get closer to the goal line as a line of scrimmage guy, start bowing back, especially if they're coming to your pylon. You start kind of bowing back towards that G. So you could end up, your heels could be on that G back there when they're crossing your pylon. So you don't get one, you don't get wiped out. Two, you get a good glance at the whole thing, especially if you got goal line extended, if they dive across or whatever. So you just get back. Otherwise, you're going to get hurt. You're going to get, somebody diving at that pylon. So this is a great job here, getting down there. He bowed back a couple yards, but heck, you could be back 5 yards as long as you can see the goal line and you can see the sideline where he stepped out.
And I would recommend to crews, this is what we do it on our crew. So we're there an hour, like 40-ish minutes. We're on the field talking to coaches, and then we have like a half hour from the time we're done with the coin flip and everything to do until the game starts. So as a crew, you should be walking the field, checking the field out, and making sure the field is good to play on. One of the things we do is this G right here, this placard right here. We move it back to
Was
the
on the
track,
track.
so it's out of the way. Exactly. That way, to Matt's point, if you're backing up, you're not going to run into this G and start to trip and then potentially miss something on the field here. So get this out of the way. They're kind of very much just for show anyway. They don't really do anything, especially on a turf field where you got numbers and you got a blue end zone. Everybody knows where the goal line is anyway with the pylon. So get these G's out of the way so you're not tripping over them as you're backing up at the goal line.
I'm speaking from experience. It's kind of embarrassing to get caught tripping over the G and on your butt, you know, on a on a call like that. So, and it's on a grass field and you got nice stain marks. And that was during Knickers, so it was there. So,
It happens to everybody, Matt. It's okay.
yes, exactly.
But yeah, like I said, just you got the time before the game. Get those G's onto the track. Get them way out of the way. They're there for show anyway. They don't really do anything other than just for show. I actually had I can't remember if it was I think it was a high school last year. They didn't even put them out for the game, and they asked if that was okay. I'm like, yeah, no problem, because they don't do any purpose
We're
whatsoever.
just going to move them back anyways.
Exactly. And again, with the nice turf field, I think pretty much all turf fields have the numbers on the field, so everybody knows where the 10 is at and the goal line and the 50, and so get them out of the way. All right, so this next play here, so this is two plays actually here in this case, and so this is again a mechanics thing. Um, so I just want to watch again the official at the top of the screen here. And so I'm going to let the play go from here. So 3rd and 5, about 5 yards, the third and about 5 yards ago, we're snapping from the 36-yard line. So first thing I'll highlight that the official is lined up in a good position here. They're looking right at the line of scrimmage and looking right down the line here. So that's a good starting point here. So I'll play it slower once. So what I wanted to highlight then is the official, once the pass is caught here, watch the official here in this case. So everybody does this once, and hopefully it only takes one time to do this.
Yeah.
And again, I'm not picking any one official here, but this is another good one to learn from. This is why we tell officials to stay back and wait till the play's over to spot the ball. The official is a little quick to the pile here because the play is still happening. There's no reason you know the spots once the official starts to stop the clock in this case. You already know the spot. You already know the team has the first down. That's why you're stopping the clock here. So this is why you want to stay back here because the pile you don't know what's going to happen with the pile of players here. In this case, the official comes up a little too quick. The pile gets pushed back into them, and now there's potential for them to get knocked backwards, fall on their butts, fall on their head, get hurt, which is the last thing we want any official to do. And again, that's why we tell officials to stay back from the pile. Let the play clear first, and then you can come up and get the spot.
This is the perfect thing for crossfield mechanics
Exactly.
because you put everything you did great. Right here, here, here. You're just standing there looking. You walk up a little bit, just stop. The opposite field guy, he can come to the spot and he can get on the 020 and say, I got your spot, I got the spot. You can stay back, and then you come up, you watch the player so you don't get hit, you grab the ball, and you can walk up, you throw it into the umpire, and he spots it off your other wing.
Yep,
So
exactly. Yeah, I would tell you stop. This is where you should be stopping as the
yeah,
official in this case is right here. And that way you have room if the pile does get pushed back, you have room to back up as well and get out of the way of the pile here.
yeah. And mentally you know it's the 38.
Yep.
So you can go back if something goes in the bench, all that stuff. But this is your perfect crossfield mechanics. They can step up, got it, stand on the 38, got your spot, and go.
Yep. And umpires, I've seen this from time to time for umpires. I'm blessed with a good umpire, so to speak. Um, umpires, what you want to do in this case. So to Matt's point, the line of scrimmage official will get the ball and ladle into the umpire. Umpires, what you should do is come across here and just mark the ball off the crossfield mechanic in this, or the crossfield in
Yeah.
this case. So never turn your back. So don't come around here and then turn around and then look at this, and then in this case, moon the entire offensive sideline as well, and the home team, home crowd. Just come into the hash. You know you're going to go to the hash anyway. Just come into the hash, look at the official down here where they're spotted at, and spot off of them.
They should be lined up. Yes.
Yep, they should be lined up. Hopefully they're not. And then I guess I'm gonna highlight this as well. Mark it out the official at the bottom of the screen is my points. The other point I want to make here, we know we have a first down here. We've stopped the clock. Start the ball on the hash right here, on this tick mark right here. We have a turf field here. It's well marked. We have tick marks in the middle of the field here. I think most grass ones do too. Not that I would necessarily trust those grass ones all the time. But really important for, in this case, in most cases, you want to start the new series on a tick mark. These are the tick marks right here in the middle of the field. What that does is that allows the chain crew to then start theirs on the tick mark at the bottom of the screen here, gives them a good landmark to start from. And now we know the next first down is going to be at the 28-yard line. It's not going to be the 20 and a half. It's not going to be the 27 and a half. It's going to be the 28-yard line. So we know as a crew then, once they get to the tick mark at the 28-yard line, we have a first down, we stop the clock, and we go about our business there.
Now that's on an obvious one. Now, if you're to dive up the middle and it's close, you might have to put a ball length over, and it is what it is.
Yep. And I would still argue then in that case, pick one of the yard lines.
Exactly.
Matt, this would be a good place also to talk about communicating whether we're inbounds or out of bounds because we're tight to the sideline here. So we're stopping the clock for the first down, but then we need to let White Hat know if we're winding or holding.
Correct.
Yep, exactly. So the signal for that for everybody, and Jeff, thank you. The line of scrimmage officials will do the twirling, and our crew anyway, they'll do the twirling thing, not up by their head. I'm just doing it for the camera. Or they'll do a cross like this for stop the clock. That's the way I know as a referee that I'm going to start the clock or not once the ball is placed down, or actually in the umpire's hand in this case, depending.
You can do it on the 020s too, but it's just the flick of the finger or cross figures down. It's real easy for observation because you might have other things going. going on or whatever that you're watching and, get more in your ear and all that, especially when you got an umpire that likes to talk a lot on the 0-2-0 like I do.
Yeah, and I would argue in this case too, to just point here also that the forward progress in this case is stopped inbounds. So we're going to wind the clock on
Yeah.
the once the umpire has the ball. In this case, it's the 10th play of the game here, so we're pretty early in the game. Um, so in this case, the clock is not an issue. So once the umpire has the ball and starts to come back into the middle of the field here, referees start the clock. And then I just show the next play here. They did get the spot right in this case as well. Again, I don't know if it's cross-field mechanics or if they knew
Good
the spot
time.
here, but I think the spot is good in this case as well.
Good. She starts August 19th chemo.
All right. Any other thoughts on this play at all? All right. Next play here. So Matt, this is going to be question number 4 on this play.
Okay, you let me know.
Yep, I will. All right, so I'm going to let this play out for once, and then I'll slow it down. So what is it? First, I can't tell actually. Let's see what down it is.
Third down.
Third and 6 at the 40-yard line. Quarterback kicks a snap and rolls out to the left. Gets some pressure right away, so the quarterback decides to run with the ball here. We have a big hit on the sideline here. Till the play, and then the play is over, and we have a flag on this play. Oops, I'm thinking too far. So I'll play it one more time here, and then I'll have you pull the question up here, Matt.
Okay.
Okay, so the question is going to pertain to the hit here, so I don't know if you want to bring it up, Matt.
Tell me when.
Yep, go ahead, pull it up right now. So we're watching the hit on the runner here in this case. Is this targeting? Question answers are yes, no, the player is not defenseless, or just no, this is not targeting. So yes, this is targeting. No, it is not targeting because the player is not defenseless, or just no, this is not targeting. Let me know when you got enough results or answers.
All right, I got them.
Okay, let's see them.
63% no.
63% no. All right. All right. So in high school, I'm going to answer the first part of this, the 10% that said no, the player is not defenseless. In high school, it's different than Saturdays in college when you're watching a college game on the Big Ten Network. There's no part of a targeting rule in high school that pertains to the player being defenseless. So that is not a correct answer, that the player is not defenseless, because that is not something we need to worry about. It's just targeting yes or no in this case. I would argue that this is targeting. The defender here lowers his head, and it looks to me like he hits the runner in the head right there, which makes this targeting right there. It is hard to tell, so I'm going to default also to the official in this case, who does throw their flag for targeting, I'm assuming. But I think this is targeting in this case, so I think this is a good call.
Yep.
So
Okay.
open to anybody's opinion on this case, though.
I guess I would say it's on mechanics, so I don't know if Matt, you were going to get to it mechanics wise.
I am
Okay.
going to get to that too.
Okay,
Yeah.
go ahead.
Okay. All right. So yes, I think it's targeting. So yes. So to Matt's point, I want to talk about mechanics now. Line of scrimmage officials. You're not at the goal line in this case. You're at the 40-yard line. So once you read that the play is coming your way, You should not be backing up into the bench like this official does. Instead of backing up this way, what you should do is go this way down the sideline. The reason being is A, you're going to be out of the way, but also B, now you have a view if the player when the player steps out of bounds. When you go back this way right here, you don't have a view of when the player steps out of bounds, and you're also going to be have players that you're going to be backing into, which I think does happen in this case as well here. And Matt, I don't know if that's what you're going to say or
Yeah.
not.
Well, I was also going to say you got a coach there that's in, when I'm on the sideline, my heels are on the back of the white.
Yep.
And if
This is
that coach is up in front of me and if you would move up, like Matt said, if you would move back towards the 50, you're going to run into him. And if honestly, if it's me and you're 5 yards and he's 5 yards away from you standing right there, I'm almost guarantee I will run into him. Basically, and theoretically, you can throw a flag on him then because he is in your area.
Yep.
And so, I mean, you should be talking to him right now that he's got to get off the white. And for one, he's obstructing your view of the play right there. You can't see what's going on. You might have missed a face mask there. So you didn't, but I mean, he's in your way. That's right there. That's a flag right there for being in your way.
Yeah.
And go
To
ahead.
Matt's point, this white area right here, there is a 2 yard belt around the entire field. A lot of fields have this white area in the team box. That is our spot. So to Matt's point, this is what I did as a wing official as well. Is my heels would be on the back of that white right there because the white area is mine. And as a line of scrimmage official, you can kind of see this official at the top is doing that also. Their heels are on the back of the white here. That's me telling them this is my spot. So to Matt's point, if I move at all and run into a coach, that's a 15-yard penalty for sideline
Yeah.
interference. If you
And
come,
as you start to see coaches and they're going to get to know your crews over the years, over the games. They're going to understand that where you stand back, the wings stand, and they're going to work with you because ultimately, if the coaches are they can step up in the white, but once the play happens, they got to step back. But that also gets because you notice their players are on the yellow for most of them, so that gets them pushed back because the coaches want to have room. So if you're back a little farther. Some coaches might make comments about it, some coaches won't, but most coaches won't, because they know that's your area. So that coach, you talk to him, say, Coach, this is my white. I don't care if he's standing back at the 50 or the other 45, I don't really care to the most point. But he also has to understand that if there's a turnover and I'm going back that way, he better be out of the way, or if I run into him, it's going to be a flag.
even if you have to run around the coach too, it's also
Correct.
sideline warning in that case,
So
at least.
So, you work with the coaches, but they also have to understand that you have to have work because you don't want to get hurt too. So theoretically, this could be a penalty right here already. But then because, if you would run into them, it's 15 yards.
Yep. Yeah, and it's that point as an official. Once you see this play coming this way, you should be back, I would say, at least to the 48-yard line in this case,
Yeah.
which to Matt's point, you're going to run into the coach on the way, which is going to cost this team 15 yards. And since we got a targeting call as well here, now we have offsetting fouls actually because we have two
Yeah.
live ball fouls. But you've just cost your team, the coach just costed his team 15 yards because in this case we would have offset the targeting and the sideline interference. But again, officials here, don't back up. You should be, as soon as you read that coming this way, you should be back this way. And as the play comes here, if you have to back up more, fine, do it. Just get out of the way and protect yourself in this case.
Yeah. Now, if this is a goal line play, you did perfect.
Yep.
If you're on the goal line, if the 40 is the goal line, that's perfect. But, you know,
Matt, can you go back to the snap?
Yep.
Do we have an illegal shift on number 7 before the ball is put in play?
Give me a second here, Mike. There we go.
because the quarterback is moving too.
Well, yeah, and you also have 7 going downfield before the ball is snapped. Where is it's hard to
I
say.
don't think that's. I don't think he's shaving. That would
Yeah,
be a legal motion in that case. I don't think
yeah,
it is. I don't think he's shaving this at all. He's
no,
not in.
that would be really picky.
Yep.
All right.
I, yeah. So in that case, you're looking at a legal motion because you're right. He can't go going forward at the snap. I don't think he is in this case. It's not
Yeah.
a foul we want called.
All right.
All right. Next play. This is a fun one. Let me play it through real time first off, and then I'll slow it down.
Is there a question on, is the question on this one, Matt?
There's not on this one. I
Okay.
just wanted to walk through this again.
Yeah.
So this is, I can't read it's second quarter. There's about 2 minutes, 30 seconds left in the second quarter here. So this is the 65th play of this game here. I'll just play it slow here. That's from about this point here. So this is an easy one, honestly, but I just wanted to, again, talk about it here, mechanically speaking here. So you have a weird snap in this case, and I think it catches the crew by surprise here as well. We get the play happen here. They come get set. They're not really set. You got some people going down with their hand. You got a player in motion here. You got a quarterback moving around, and then got a receiver getting set here, and then they snap the ball here. So we're not, this is one that catches us as referees by surprise here. We don't totally expect this because you're thinking, okay, well, it's going through my pre-snap routine in this case. It's third down, 9 yards to go. Clock is, I can't read it. I think it said like 2 minutes left in the second quarter, so the clock really isn't an issue yet. So you're not too worried about that at this point. But you're worried about 3rd and 9 and worried about players getting set, and then the snap happens. So you just got to be ready for this. Football's a fun game. Teenage boys are not the brightest people in the face of the earth, and things like this happen from time to time. So the crew does a good job in this case of flagging this and stopping the play. So the both line of scrimmage officials throw their flag, and we're killing the clock. We're stopping the clock in this case for the false start. So, like I said, this was an easy one, mechanically speaking. This is pretty much exactly what you want to do. You see this, the players aren't set, everybody's kind of sitting around looking, and so you just want to shut this down right away. So, throw your flag for a false start, stop the clock, and stop the play from happening. The other mechanic I wanted to highlight too. So we have flags by both line of scrimmage officials, and so line of scrimmage official at the bottom can. The one at the top runs into the middle of the field here, but doesn't check with the other line of scrimmage official. The one at the bottom does come in a little bit looking for the other line of scrimmage official who is now talking to the referee. What you want to do in this case is actually talk as line of scrimmage officials first off, whether it's on the O2O or live. I think it looks better when you're talking to each other live in the middle of the field. Talk each other first and make sure you have the same thing before you go to the referee. In this case, it's pretty cut and dry. This is a false start. You could pick any number of players to put this on. But make sure as line of scrimmage officials, you're talking to each other first before you go to the referee and the umpire to report what the foul is. So that's the only thing I would change in this case is make sure 2 line of scrimmage officials are talking before we do this.
Matt, do you use the mechanic where you drop the flag to the left or the right to indicate which side you believe it's on?
So I've heard that both ways, especially when you're throwing a flag and you're the only one throwing for a false start. I would suggest throwing it to the offensive backfield if it's a false start, because what you can do in that case is you can actually start running to the referee. In this case, too, if you have a false start, a good preliminary signal with doing the signal for false start as well as you're running to the official or the referee, I mean. And this is where O2Os come in also. Say, hey, I got a false start on number 71 of the offense. So you come running to the referee doing this, and then again, the O2O say number 71. Then me as a referee, I can go ahead and announce the call. The umpire knows it's a false start, so that we're going to mark 5 yards backwards. Then the official since you throw it to the offensive backfield, you can pick up the flag and then get ready for the march off of the penalty then in that case. So, and then yes, to your point also, if you have defense, maybe you throw it up in the air like this in this case. And then you can tell that, hey, I got encroachment on the defense, and then do it with that signal again, and then tell the referee the number. Also, in this case, I think both of them actually throw it. Yeah, both of them kind of throw them up and down the sideline here. So I think the only correction is the one at the official at the top of the screen to come in and talk to the official at the bottom of the screen before going to the white hat. So in this case, I would throw them like they did because we have flags on. He said pick a number on the offense. So they forces them to talk in the middle of the field here. Anything else on this play? All right. O2O. So O2O is the radio, official to official radio
Yep.
is what it means. All right. This is going to be question number 5, Matt.
Okay,
All
let
right,
me
so-
know when.
Yep, I'll let the play go. So it's 4th and like 12 or so. So we're let up for a scrimmage kick. Have a high snap. I'm not going to show the return in this case. So I'll play that again. We're watching the action around the kicker. And I'll play it slow-mo here. So kicker has to jump up to catch the snap, pulls it down. We got a little bit of pressure here, and we got a jump, and we got the punter kicker going down. I'll show the end zone view on this one as well. All right, Matt, you want to pull up the poll question?
Yep, number 5, right?
Yep, number 5.
Okay,
All right, is this a foul for running into the kicker? Yes, it is running into the kicker. No, this is roughing the kicker, or just no, this is not a foul. Don't let the fact that the official threw the flag in this case sway you one way or the other. Let me know when you have enough results, Matt.
I got about 25, right? I'm getting there. Once
Okay.
I hit 30, I'll. All right. Ready?
Yep, let's see it. All right, 57% yes, 14% no, this is roughing, and 29% no. Hey Matt, I'll adjust the roughing part if you want to talk about running into yes or no, if that works for you.
Okay.
So this is not roughing. For it to be roughing, you're really looking for displacement of the kicker. So you're looking at running through the kicker in this case, or hitting the
Or
plant
hit.
leg.
Yeah, it's the main plant leg on
Yep.
this one. Yeah.
Yep. Exactly. Which in this case, there's potential contact with the kicking leg. So this
Yeah.
does not rise to the level of roughing the kicker. So that I don't think this is roughing the kicker.
Yeah. And pretty honestly, I don't think there's any contact at all. If you look at it, I don't think he made really any contact. So this was a good sell job. But I mean, a running into is just bumping, like Matt said, a roughing is going to hit the plant leg or blowing him up. Running into would be just bumping him or hitting the leg up in the air, but that would be a running into. And then obviously you got choices on the running into with the penalty. But to me, it kind of looks like that kicker pulled his leg back and there was no contact with it. So, I mean, it'd be hard to see from the referee from the end if he did make contact or not, because he did sell it pretty good. But um, I don't think this is even rough running into.
If he touches him at all, is it running into, or does it have to be more than a tap as he walks by?
I
So,
I don't know, Matt. You can say you're back there too, but
yeah,
I personally, if he just touches his arm or something like that, that's nothing. I
Okay,
mean,
because
but
I think he missed here, but I was just wondering if he touched him at all. That's what I was wondering.
yeah, if he
yeah,
touches his arm as he's going by or not, it's more anything with the legs
Okay,
correct.
so
Yep.
is where I would be. If he hits that kick leg, that's running into. If he hits the plant leg, that's definitely roughing.
okay, thank you.
Yeah, and I would agree with that, Matt. In this case, you got potential contact to the kicking leg right after he kicks the ball. So if anything, this is running into the kicker.
Yeah,
But if he touches an arm or something like that, then you have
yeah.
nothing, unless he blows him up, obviously.
Yeah. And then you could have a defense, then it could be you may not have. You could have just a roughing a personal foul defenseless player,
Defensive player, exactly.
because he is defenseless too. So
Yep. And so a couple things on there, and I think that this was just addressed on the chat here too. If the defender in this case touches the ball at all, then you have nothing. Once the defender touches the ball, as a blocking the ball or touches the ball at all, then there's no roughing or running into the kicker in that case,
correct.
by rule. And I would talk about penalty enforcement here as well. So running into the kicker, that is a 5-yard penalty from the previous spot. And so they do not have the ability to add this on to the end of the kick. The only time they can do that is if there's a foul by the kicking team. Then they can have a choice of adding that on from the end of the run. Roughing the kicker, any of the roughing fouls. So you got roughing the kicker, roughing the quarterback, or roughing the passer, sorry, roughing the snapper, and roughing the holder. Any of those roughing fouls are automatic first downs. Those are the only 4 automatic first downs um, in high school football. So that's the difference in those two cases. Roughing is a 15-yard automatic first down. Running into is just a 5-yard penalty, and you see where the ball lies after that. To Matt's point, if you have none of the above and you just have like a blind defensive player, that's a personal foul. Again, in high school, that is not an automatic first down. So again, don't pay attention to those guys on the weekends, on Saturday or Sunday. For Friday nights, personal fouls are not automatic first downs. So that's just the difference in the penalty enforcement here.
Question, man?
Yeah.
And I'm unfamiliar with the mechanic of an umpire in the backfield. Who's accountable for snapper protection in a scrimmage kick situation?
Umpire.
Umpire is.
And then the referee has the kicker?
Yeah.
Correct. Yep.
Yeah. And the one thing about it is the umpires should be yelling, lay off the snapper, lay off the snapper. Because they can line up directly across from him, but they got to give him ample time to defend himself. So basically,
Okay.
get your hands up and get your head up. But most of the time now, they're lining up in the gaps.
Yeah.
So, but usually you're saying lay off our umpires should be, hey, lay off the center, or watch the center, however you want to say it, just to make everybody aware of it. Because it'll also tell them that you are watching it as well.
Yeah, so to Matt's point, I think right about here is where the snapper can legally be contacted.
Yes.
He's had a chance to snap the ball right
And,
here.
and
Now he's
defend
recovered.
himself.
Now he can defend himself.
Yeah. And that would go for anything. That would even go for a point after a field goal, same thing.
Yep.
He has the right to defend him. That's the only time you can really, after he has a chance to defend himself.
Any other questions? Again, the conversation is great tonight, so please
Yeah.
ask away. This is great. All right, this is the last play I have tonight. This is question number 6, Matt.
Okay.
All right, so I'll start over from the play here. So it's second down and about 8, and we're snapping from the looks like the 37-yard line here. I want you to watch. I'll play it in slow motion here. So we have the quarterback scrambling to his right and up forward and throwing the passing the ball. The receiver catches it, and we have a potential touchdown here. This time, watch where the passer throws the ball from. And that's going to bring up the question then, Matt.
Okay.
So I'll play it slow-mo one more time here. Because I know it's still probably choppy still on your side, everybody's side. Okay, you want to pull up the poll question, Matt?
Yep.
Is this pass legal, yes or no? And well, let me know when you have a 30-ish answers, Matt.
Yep.
Just show up the results.
All right, we'll go here.
Okay. All right, is this pass legal? 22% say yes, 78% say no. So for us in high school here, the quarterback or the passer cannot have any portion of his body past the line of scrimmage, and so he's the passer for sure has at least 1 foot, and it looks like to me probably both feet are at least at the 37-yard line, which is the spot of the ball, the neutral zone. So this is an illegal forward pass.
Whose flag is that to drop? The linesman? Or
The
lineman?
two line of scrimmage guy should get that, yes. So the line of scrimmage officials do a great job in this case again of not moving with the play here. They're looking. I would argue they do have responsibility for receivers, and obviously and those rules downfield as well. But they do a good job of staying home in this case. What I mean by that is they're not moving from the line of scrimmage at all. So they both have a great look at this from where the quarterback passer throws the ball from. I would expect both of them to have a flag in this case because this is, at least based on video, pretty clearly looks like he's in downfield or past the line of scrimmage when he throws the ball. I don't know if the top one throws a flag, but for sure the bottom one official does throw a flag for that.
That
So
okay?
they do catch this, and it's like I agree with the call. This is an illegal forward pass. Again, because the passer has at least one body part past the line of scrimmage. Matt, do you have anything different on that one?
No, nope, I would agree.
Just out of curiosity, who's the coach running all the way back and then the different coach running all the way down to the 5-yard line during the play? I mean,
I don't know
isn't
what
both
team
of
this
those
is.
flags?
What is this, Champlin?
It's Mounds View actually.
Okay, yeah, I don't. Okay,
So we get to what the 10-yard line I think it is for the coaches box in
yeah,
our game.
yeah.
So the
15.
coaches, go ahead.
15 to 15.
15, okay. I should probably read Rule 1 more than I do. I'm admitting it.
Yeah. Matt, what penalty enforcement?
Penalty enforcement. So this is 5 yards from the spot of the foul, which I would put at about the 36-yard line, and it is loss of down.
Yeah. So if this was second down, it would be third down and 5 yards back. So now it would be
Third
third
12.
down and
12.
12.
12. We actually had this a couple of years. This has actually been probably 10 years ago now. Quarterback, it was actually against Maple Grove was the beneficiary of this in our case. The opposing team ran 3-4 yards downfield and threw an interception on fourth down. And the interception, the return of the interception did not get back as far as where the ball would be left after the penalty. And so we actually called the coach over in that case, and you could see the coach's head explode when we explained to him that he's better off declining the penalty, even though he had an interception on the play. Because it was fourth down, and the ball, since it's loss of down, the 5-yard penalty and loss of down would leave the ball at a better spot than the return of the interception would. So just a little nuance to that one. If this was fourth down, obviously it's a completed pass in this case, but if this was fourth down, now you have a turnover of downs, and the defense is going to get the ball at the 41-yard line, 1st and 10. Any other questions, comments on this one at all? All right, that's all I got for